Hey guys, welcome back to another Albion online video. I hope you've all been doing well and are excited for this week's video. The idea of this Greataxe build was actually inspired by a viewer in the comment section a couple weeks ago, so I want to shout out Raktul for the build idea as I really appreciate the feedback you guys give me. So with that said, this week's video is a Greataxe PvP tank build. This build focuses on survivability and mobility while still having enough damage to score kills in combat. This build will do well in small scale PvP, Hellgates, Arena, and of course Corrupted Dungeons, which is what you'll be seeing later on in this video. So without further ado, let's get into the build and see how it works. For the Greataxe, the Q we'll be using is Rending Rage. For this build, I like to use the third charge of Q to root the enemy, followed by a Whirlwind. Otherwise we'll be using the 2 charges of Q, waiting for the charges to reset, and then rinse and repeat for maximum DPS. The W we'll be choosing is Adrenaline Boost. With its movement speed and damage increase, I also like to use this with Whirlwind. This ability has a 20-second cooldown. Our E itself is the Whirlwind ability, which will provide us with most of our damage for this build, but we'll go over how to use it effectively a little later on. This ability has a 25-second cooldown. The passive we'll be using is Deep Cuts to apply bleed damage every 4 normal attacks. The helmet we'll be using is the Soldier Helmet. After using this in Corrupted Dungeons, I have to say this is one of my favorite helmets in the game, as the block ability blocks all attacks and crowd control effects while channeling the ability. This allows for huge outplay potential to eat big incoming attacks and will potentially win you the fight. We'll be using the Toughness passive for more defense. The chest for this build will be the Stalker Jacket. Using Electric Field will give us huge damage while pairing it with our Whirlwind. This ability has a 45-second cooldown. We'll be using the Balanced Mind passive for more damage and defense. Since this is a tank build, I initially tried to use all plate armor, including the Soldier Armor. But in Corrupted Dungeons, I found the damage to be a bit underwhelming in a 1v1 situation, so that's why I went with the Stalker Jacket instead. But if you wanted to use full armor, I would recommend using the Soldier Armor for your chest piece. For our boots, we'll be using the Soldier Boots for Wanderlust. The Wanderlust ability will give us huge amounts of movement speed when the stacks reach 8, allowing us to catch our enemies or run away if need be. This ability has a 1-minute cooldown. Again, we'll be using the Toughness passive for more defense. For our cape, we'll be using the Thetford Cape for Chain Lightning. This ability will help us with our damage by shocking the enemy every 15 seconds with a normal attack. For our consumables, we'll be using the Resistance Potions. This is a great defensive ability that will increase our defense and crowd control resistance by 70% for 6 seconds. And for food, we'll be using roast pork to steal health from the enemy every time we deal damage. Now that you've seen what makes the build, let's show you how the build works and what I like to do with each ability. If fighting a melee enemy, you can start by engaging them. Otherwise, for ranged enemies, I like to activate my Soldier Boots Wanderlust to chase them down. Next, I use my 3 charges of Rending Rage to apply the bleeds and then root the enemy upon landing the 3rd charge Q. Once rooted, I like to begin my combo by firstly activating Adrenaline Boost, then Electric Field, followed by Whirlwind for maximum damage. Throughout the fight, when you sense the enemy is about to do a lot of damage, you can use the Soldier Helmet block ability and avoid as much damage as possible. We'll also use our resistance potions for the same reason, just be sure to space them out so we're not overlapping the 2 abilities. Now that we know how the build works, we'll be testing it out in PvP Corrupted Dungeons. If you guys enjoyed this build and maybe plan on trying it out yourself, let me know in the comments below. Also, if you guys enjoyed the content, be sure to like the video and subscribe for more videos every Sunday, as we're super close to hitting 200 subscribers. Again, I would like to thank you all so much for the support. Stay safe and take care, guys.
I'm on my last straw. I'm broken and I'm broken.